Hi, welcome back to book haul number 3. We've got quite a pile to get through here. I've already done book haul number 2 today, so I'm doing this one back to back with it, just because of the pressure of time and going on holiday this week. So I'll do another one probably tomorrow, just to clear up the remaining books. But we'll start off with this one. I got a Star Wars trilogy. I got another one. So this one is the Aftermath trilogy by Chuck Wendig. Aftermath. Look at the covers. I love the cover designs of these. I'm assuming that these are, with it being called Aftermath, that this is kind of the what happened immediately after the destruction of the Death Star, or the second Death Star, in the movies. As the final showdown between the New Republic and the Empire draws near, all eyes turn to a once isolated planet, Jakku. Ooh, Jakku. I've heard of that. If only they'd kept it as simple as that, and then the third Star Wars trilogy might have been a little bit better. Another Star Wars one, this is called Bloodline by Claudia Gray. I think this one's just a standalone. This is in the lead up to The Force Awakens. So I'll probably will read these, because I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but I'm not a massive fan of the book. As I said, the ones that I did read were the Timothy Zahn ones, the Thrawn ones. I found those very, very good and very involving, and they were a kind of worthy continuation of the story. But I've read a couple of others that just weren't, and so they weren't a good experience. Wasn't a good reading experience. I'll do there's another one here, another Star Wars one, before I move on to the ones on top of it. This is a Rogue One novel, Catalyst, a prequel to Rogue One. That'd be interesting to read, because I actually like Rogue One. I thought Rogue One was probably the better one apart from the original trilogy. That's probably one of the better movies. Probably fitted better into canon, I would say, than any of the others did. But in terms of the way I feel about Star Wars, the way it makes me feel, and the kind of nostalgia for the way it was back in the beginning, in much the same way as The Mandalorian does on TV. So yeah, another one. I'll read at least one of these just to give them a go. In the first book haul, I had some Gordon R. Dixon books. I had the Dorsai trilogy. I've found another couple of those. Well, not of the Dorsai trilogy, but a couple other books of his, with some beautiful, looks like Chris Voss covers. The Outposter. And this, again, these are just, whoever had these books just looked after them so well. They're just so immaculate. I mean, obviously they're showing signs of age. There's yellowing of the pages and everything. This one's called The Alien Way. Author of the stunning Dorsai trilogy. Yeah. Beautiful cover, though. I mean, I love those kind of things, the imagination. Next up, we have The Liberation, which is the final book in the Mechanicals trilogy, which completes the story of Jack. So this one is kind of, as I said before, I think in the first book haul video, I had the second book, which is called The Rising, and I showed you the first one that I'd already read. It's very much it's kind of like a steampunk, a marriage of sort of steampunk and alternate history, but yeah, I think it fits the science fiction genre very well, and it's very good. And I don't know how they would make a kind of a adaptation of this for movies, but it really is crying out for one, almost as much as likes of the Hunger Games or any of those kind of things. Where, although I wouldn't say this was YA, it's probably it's better than YA, but yeah, I think it would be good. But I'm looking forward to getting through those as well. That I really enjoyed those. I would highly recommend, if you want to give anything a go this year, give the Mechanical a go. It's very different from sort of mainstream sort of fantasy. It's something that somebody who likes fantasy and who likes science fiction could read. that's a little bit outfield, and well worth a read. I will do a review of these when I'm finished the complete thing. I'm not going to do it just on the strength I haven't read the mechanical, because I could say, oh, it's brilliant, and then find out after reading these that it's really not. But yeah, so I will be reading those. I picked this up. I'm like I say, this is supposed to, I'm primarily going to be doing sci-fi books on this channel, but this is book 1 of the Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan, and I have friends who love fantasy who basically shout about this from the high rooftops. I also have a Brandon Sanderson trilogy that probably one of the friends that recommended this very highly recommended that, and actually enjoyed that. So I don't read much fantasy, but I do read it if it's good, and if this is going to be good, then I'll give it a go. It's the first book. If I read it and I like it, then fair enough. Next up, another Arthur C. Clarke one. This is one of his later collaborations with Gentry Lee of NASA. This is called Cradle. I don't know what it's really about. It's a mix of scientific speculation and thriller. Okay. It's a classic to rank with 2001: A Space Odyssey, Rendezvous with Rama, and Childhood's End. I may read that. I've read probably near enough everything else Arthur C. Clarke's written, including his collaborations with Stephen Baxter, which I found really good. I have the hardback editions of those up there. But yeah, I'll probably will be reading that one. But that's a good find. That's another one that's in great nick. It doesn't even look like it's been read. £1 in a charity shop. Fantastic. I do a lot of stuff for charity. Okay, so more Larry Niven. We have Larry Niven and Jerry Purnell. They wrote a lot of books together, these guys. This one's called Lucifer's Hammer. It's an end of the world story. Oh, wow. Okay, you can't beat the end of the world. That's quite what's coming soon, actually. Probably. I don't know, according to what you read in the news and see on social media. But yeah, good. I mean, if the world doesn't end, I'll read this book about the end of the world. Sounds good. I've never read The Mote in God's Eye. I think that one of the ones that Niven and Purnell did that's quite famous. Here's more Larry Niven. This is The Smoke Ring. And this is the sequel to The Integral Tree. So that's the sequel to this. So I have both of those. The Integral Trees and The Smoke Ring. Don't know what they're about. I'll have a look later. But more Larry Niven. I can't really argue with that. I've got quite a lot of Larry Niven I've managed to pick up. I'll put that one to one side. What have we got here now? Ooh. Jack Vance. I had some Jack Vance ones in the last video as well. So we've got To Live Forever by Jack Vance. Big Planet by Jack Vance. A fantastic journey through a beautiful and barbaric world. So, contemporary fiction then. Jack Vance, Galactic Effectuator. That's cool. That's a cool cover. There's like dragons and stuff there. Is this like Interstellar? An interstellar sleuth fights crime on far-flung worlds. So it's like an interstellar Poirot thing. Jack Vance, Showboat World. I love that cover. That's brilliant. It's very, very atmospheric. Jack Vance, Dust of Far Suns. These are DAW editions, some of these. The ones with the sort of yellow pages. Here's another one, another DAW edition. This is Space Opera. It's got like two sort of orangutans playing piano. Very nice. Jack Vance, The Dragon Masters. That sounds That sounds more fantasy than anything to me. We'll find out soon enough though. I'll definitely read some Jack Vance. If I don't read all of them, I will definitely read some of them. It's The Language of Powell. Interesting cover. This is Trillion Alistor 2262. Is this part of a series? I'm sure there's another one. There's another one that's got a name similar to that with another Alistor cluster world. We'll find out. Okay, so next we have Michael Marshall Smith, One of Us. Now, I read Michael Marshall Smith's Only Forward about 30 years ago, and it's one of the books that kind of got me back into science fiction again after having been away from reading books for a long time, because it was just so mad. It was out there. It was just a brilliant, brilliant read. Look it up if you can find it. He followed it up with a book called Spares, which, if you've seen the film with Ewan McGregor and Scarlett Johansson that was called The Island, there we go. Spares probably goes a long way to sort of, it was probably a big influence on that, I would say. I wouldn't say that The Island copied it, but it was a similar idea. And this is the other one that he wrote, the science fiction one. One of Us, that I've never read. So I will definitely be reading this because I loved the other two. He's written a lot of sort of thriller books that moved away from genre, from science fiction. But these three are regarded as kind of classics because of his sort of out there ideas and, you know, his out of the box kind of thinking. So that'll be a good one to read, and I will be reading that one. Last in this book haul, many years ago, I read book 1 of the saga of the Exiles, which was called The Many-Coloured Land, and I thought it was really interesting. The plot is kind of people escape the future and go back to the past, to prehistoric times. They invent time machines that allow them one-way trips through time, which means they can go back the way, but they can't come back again, because going forward in time sort of kicks off the aging process. So it's kind of a one-way trip. If they go back again, they're basically turning into dust on the way. But when they get back there, they find that aliens have had the same idea and have come to live on the prehistoric Earth. And they're very sort of powerful, horrible aliens. And yeah, they kind of enslave humanity. So that's the premise for this. And there are 4 volumes to it. I didn't know that there were 4. I managed to get all of these again. Pristine condition. They've been read, so there's a little bit of sort of spine crease. But again, you know, brilliant condition. I saw all 4 of them together. I've seen them separately in sort of charity shops and on eBay listings and things like that from people, but you know, I wasn't gonna just buy one. If I saw them all, I'll buy them all, and that's what I've did. And I will give this a go, but it won't be this year. It'll probably be next year before I get around to that one. So that's the end of that book haul. And there's just one thing to mention. There's another thing came through the door today. I'm going to be doing a video on specific I'm doing videos, should I say, on specific authors. And one of those is going to be a guy called Yukio Mishima, who wasn't strictly speaking a science fiction writer. This one could be described as science fiction. This is probably the closest he ever did to it. But his story is so mad and out there that it's well worth telling whether he's science fiction or not. He was one of these sort of people that burned so very, very brightly, but in kind of the wrong colours. it's hard to explain his life. I mean, if you want to go away and look him up, Yukio Mishima, have a look at his sort of life story. I'm going to do a video on it. There's lots of videos already on YouTube, but I'm going to do it from the sort of perspective of just a few of his books, and then maybe discuss briefly his extracurricular leanings outside of his book writing. But I'm laughing, but he was deadly serious about the stuff he believed in, but it was very, very kind of out there. So that's one of the books. This one is going to be, I'm going to do a review of this one very soon. This is going to be read in the next month, so, and that will coincide with that video coming out with Yukio Mishima. So look out for that one as well. There's a lot planned. If you like these videos, as I said before, if you like these videos, please like it, and click subscribe. I'll be doing it quite often. You can stick up your alarm bell if you want, but like and subscribe I'm happy with. Thanks for watching again, and I'll see you in book haul number 3, which I hope to record in the next couple of days.